Everyone's kerfuffling.
Hello everybody, welcome to another Kerfuffle Roundtable event, and we are delighted to have Simon Burley here today from Landmark and Darryl from Elms Price & Co. Fantastic round member. Welcome to you both, thank you for making it.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you again, Simon.
Good stuff. Well, we can't see you, of course, but you've assured me that's because you're not in the pub, so I will take it on faith. If I hear clinking glasses, I will get quite envious, but we can hear you loud and clear anyway.
Good stuff. Yeah, I wish I was in the pub, but no, unfortunately, I'm at my desk in a gloomy Colchester office.
Okay, we're not yet. We're not. Keep the faith. We're going to be allowed out soon anyway.
Indeed, mate.
Look, what we're trying to do here, gents, today is, as I've said, is not ordinarily when we're all able to get together at the RAN conference. Really nice part of the day. I certainly find it. The suppliers and the agents seem to enjoy it. Is those round tables, you know, nice quick fire kind of introductions to companies, sat round a table, 10 to 12 of your RAN peers, and the ability to often when those suppliers have been talking for a while, there's usually one or two RAN members that can offer their advice as well, confirming, that what the supplier's just said is absolutely that. And often they go far beyond actually what the supplier has said. And because obviously the fantastic thing about RAN is you're not competitive in any way, you probably share more than you ordinarily would do, which I think is fantastic. So we're going to try and just recreate a little bit of that today with you, Darryl, if it's all right. Just ask you a few questions. But I think first and foremost, Simon, for those people that don't know, would you just give us a brief overview of obviously the services that you can provide?
That's absolutely fine. Thanks, Simon. I can only agree about the round tables, and I also have attended a number of RAN regional meetings back in the time when we could leave our house and travel around the country. And they were always really good events. Like you say, everyone in the room always wanted to speak to each other, share stories, talk about the products they use, and if they were using our product, kind of talk about that as well, which has been great. But, Landmark, we offer several products to RAN members. The main ones at the minute being Compliance in a Box, which is soon going to be moved over and called Landmark Agent on our new platform that's been launched as we speak, which is around compliance, money laundering, making sure that if HMRC walk through the door, frankly, you've protected yourself and you're not going to get a massive fine like the likes of Countrywide or Purple Bricks, although those fines are reflective of the size of those businesses. Yeah. But the average fine for an agent is somewhere between £5 and £6 grand, and we're here to help protect you from that. The other services we have are around Metropix, which is the floor plan, or the market-leading floor plan service we offer. Over 40% of agents in the UK using it. And then beyond that, we have several other products like outsourced compliance and a number of other onboarding products that we're launching with our new system. But the mantra of our system, and as I said, I've talked about the new system a couple of times, it's about creating a faster, more certain and less risk to your onboarding and giving you a platform where you can do that all at the touch of a button. So from a compliance point of view, it's a pretty dry subject, let's be honest. Not everyone likes to deal with it or wants to have to deal with it. We try to make it as painless as we possibly can. And it's about getting you over the line, getting your clients verified and being able to move on. And in case of a vendor, get that property listed as soon as possible. In case of a purchaser, making sure that you've done the due diligence on that purchaser and you can continue with the sale. And we do that by offering a suite of products that HMRC insist on, like money laundering policies, risk assessment, staff training, and that's looped up in the cost of what we offer with just a simple AML check. It's about making sure we're giving you that support, and we offer you electronic systems to be able to conduct your money laundering checks. And the same with Metropix. It's a platform that you can use from an iPad, from your desktop. You can draw a floor plan in a matter of minutes. And these are great. These are products that you can use online. But ultimately, everything we do and all of our services are wrapped up and are supported by people in the background. And that service, that certainty. If you're not ringing us to talk about compliance because you want to pass the time of day, you're ringing because you've got an issue and you want to get past it and you want to know what the best way to do and the most compliant thing to do is. And that's where we're absolute experts and we're on hand to help. And with that, with the new system, we've got a plethora of products coming to be bolted onto it around the land registry, TA6, TA7 forms, document signing soon, facial recognition. And it's about giving agents as many tools in their toolkit around the onboarding process as we can to try and make it quick, easy, and slick for you. Really. So
That's great.
Yeah, that's kind of our service in a nutshell.
Thank you for that, Simon. And so, obviously, Darryl, there we've just heard from Simon talk about the large amounts of sort of product lines they've got there and the expertise they can throw at this. What do you remember? What it was that first kind of attracted you to Landmark? What problem were you trying to solve?
Yeah, well, I first came into contact with Landmark at a relocation agent network conference, probably must have been about 5 years ago now. And at the time, I think the in thing was getting this little valuation tool on your website, etc. So I got speaking to Steve Sanashi at the RAN conference, and we agreed to give that a little trial. And from sort of day one, really, we really hit it off with Steve. Really good guy to speak to, really knowledgeable, and just really helpful in trying to get that onto our website. So we did that. We did the trial. I think we did a 2-month trial, and it worked really well for us. So much so that we basically contacted another third party to try and push traffic that way as well, and we achieved some really good numbers to start with before sort of everyone started to do it. But from sort of day one, really, Steve and the rest of the team there made the process really easy for us to generate these leads, to any kind of quick queries we had on that product. They were quite quickly ironed out. And then from there, that sort of smart valve has now sort of retired, but we use another version of it now, which I think was sold to from that part of smart valve. But then we moved on to Metropix, where we do all our floor plans 2D and 3D from. And once again, we were doing that to start off with, probably on a sort of monthly basis, really. Until Landmark sort of decided to package all their products up. And then from the smart valve, during another RAN meeting that we were having for all the local RAN members, AMLs started to become, and compliance started to come forefront to the market and to the media. So we thought, as an office, we better get involved with this, and just to make sure that we're completely covered. And then once again, the guys there just set up our AML process for us really quickly, and it was a bit of a change, because we were just doing the usual pictures and passport photocopies and that sort of stuff, and not really getting under the skin of AMLs. And for our administrators, it was a bit of a daunting task, really. But I was speaking to our administrator yesterday when I was talking about coming on here and talking to you guys, and she said that's probably one of the best products she now uses, and it makes her life so much easier. So I think it just goes to show how well the guys at Landmark really sort of work. We don't have much contact with the guys, which is a good thing, really, because there's never really any problems. Yeah, so it's just sort of how we came to use the guys at Landmark, and we've now got a platinum sort of account, which encompasses everything, really, and everything's under one umbrella. We have one payment going out a month, and we probably wouldn't be able to work without them at the moment.
Excellent. And is there a favourite kind of feature or elements of anything that they do for you that you think is really worthwhile having?
Well, I think, like I say, for the AMLs, it just makes our whole process so much easier. From when we go on to take properties on the market, we literally just come back with an AML form filled in by the vendor, and then that gets fired off. We get a pass back, relatively within sort of 20 minutes or so maximum. and then we're ready to go. The file's all opened up. I wouldn't say it's a sexy product as such, but it does exactly what we need it to do, and it enables us to get instructions on the market really, really quickly.
Yeah, and well, look, if it's stopping you getting fined or even worse,
we don't want to knock on the door from the HMRC and having to try and figure out exactly where all our documentation is. It's just sort of there as a pass right at the front of the file.
And I think we're all pretty sick of prop techs describing themselves as, or a lot of them describing themselves as sexy anyway, aren't we? So let's be pretty honest about that.
Indeed.
And crucially, Darryl, has it helped speed up your onboarding?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I reckon there's speed. Whereas before we used to have to wait for either some kind of ID or documentation to come in. Some of the negs would go out and come back with half filled out forms, etc. Now we just go out with an AML requisition saying everyone needs to fill this in. As part of the process now. It's a legal obligation. We get a signature, and at the moment we come back, we can literally open that file up after we've spoken to Exos, and job done. Okay,
cool. And what surprised you about and maybe your teams about using the service? Was there anything? Is there been anything there that an unexpected benefit?
I think the main thing from Landmark is their own onboarding, because from the initial stage of I left my business card with Steve at the RAN network conference, and then probably within a couple of days of them sort of going through all their sort of leads and stuff, I think we were on board with them and using the Smart Valve product within probably a week. And I think at that stage there wasn't many people doing the Smart Valve thing, I think we probably within the first year I think we had roughly around about 400 leads come through from that. Wow. Which I think we probably we moved about 30% of those. So within that first sort of year was amazing. And the guys at work here, the one, two directors were saying, what the hell's going on here? We can't understand where all these leads are coming from. And it was literally just that Smart Valve tool.
That's fantastic. That's good. And I think you just mentioned before, you did actually feel obliged to actually give a referral to somebody else as well there. What kind of, what made you do so? What impressed you enough?
It was just their ability. They're just normal people, to be honest. And when you pick the phone up to them, they understand, your business. And there's a couple of times where at the early stages when we didn't have sort of the whole account under one umbrella, we would sort of be paying sort of Smart Valve here and Metropix out of left hand and Smart Valve out the right. And now and again we would our payments may not have gone out in time, and we wouldn't be able to put say for instance a plan on, and it would be your subscription is sort of has elapsed, and we were like, oh no, we haven't paid the bill, or we haven't done this on time, before we started off, our direct debits going out monthly. Because this is on a trial, when we were doing a sort of a trial basis, depending seeing how many plans we were using each week. But we just phoned Steve up, and Steve would just say, yeah, no worries, get it drawn up, and I'll just pay subscription you can when your contact lady's in next, and next thing we know, as soon as it was drawn up, the email will be there with the floor plan, and it would just show that they're very very personable. They just want to help you, go about your day-to-day business, and anything they can do. It's just nothing's a problem,
That's nice to hear, isn't it? It's always good to see, and very helps your confidence, doesn't it? Going for a new, a new business. Certainly, other RAN members listening to that will think that that's great that they have the people to back up the product itself.
Yes, exactly. And that's been the same throughout the whole sort of process of sort of moving from Smart Valve to Metropix, then on to Exos, and I know I think Simon's got a few new products up his sleeve that will be coming to the market very soon, I think.
Great, it sounds exciting to expect. And what about those people that any other RAM members that you that asked you about the service now? What would you say to them thinking about using Landmark, Darryl?
Yeah, well, this was always mentioned. We always go through sort of what's working where, sort of thing, during our local meetings. And right at the start, when I started using Smart Valve, there was a number of the guys around sort of Essex, Herts, and Suffolk, sort of East Anglia areas, that they gave it a try, and I think a lot of them are still using those products now as well. I think might have been Simon at Thomas Morris. He was a big champion of Landmark as well, right at the start.
Yeah. Excellent, that's good. And is there any tips that you would give to them that you might have done differently about the onboarding at all, or just listen to these guys, trust what they say, and you'll get the best out of it?
Yeah, no, exactly that. Each sort of section has a different sort of account manager who deals with different products. But I've always dealt with Steve Sanashi, and he obviously knows the suite of products sort of inside out, really. So everyone there can help. I think with regards to the onboarding, it was quite an easy process. But right at the start, when we started using them, before they put everything under one umbrella, it was slightly different then, because we were going in with one product, giving that a trial, and then maybe trialing something else. But I think now you probably just be able to say, okay, I want this, this, and this. What sort of deal can you do me? And I'm sure they'll come back with the best options for you, sort of tailored to what your needs are.
And then you've got a nice one-stop shop, really, for all those different
That's
products.
exactly it, yeah. And that was one of the benefits that we looked at, really, because there was other people out there at the time doing valuation tools. There was other people doing AML checks. But what we wanted was was a company that we could pay one bill to, and take that product, and that product from them, and not have to worry about it.
And that's on average, we find that our research has shown that agents have on average 20 different suppliers, just estate agency suppliers, to the business there. So that's a huge amount, as you're talking about relationships, direct debits, or standing orders going out there. So to be able to rationalize those, bring those down, can really help you in the running of your business. Because let's face it, you want to just get on selling houses, don't you?
That's exactly it, yeah.
Good. And obviously they're not the only player in town. So why did you feel that Landmark, apart from that, just that element there, what was it that Landmark could deliver over the other providers?
To be honest, because I didn't use any of the others. I think from that initial conversation that we we had at the network. When we were using Smart Valve, I think value for money came into it, because they were actually probably one of the cheapest valuation tools out there. So hence the trial for the first couple of months, really, because obviously when you buy something cheap, you think, well, it can't be that good. Yeah, what's going to go wrong? But we literally didn't have that at all. So we thought, well, that's pretty good value for money. Let's try their AML checks as well. And let's try their Metropix and their floor plan, and it went from there, just all stages really. And it's just something that we just carried on with, and we have now gone on to obviously use a slightly different valuation tools, because Smart Valve has been retired. So that part of it is very similar, but we don't have I don't think we've got the same. The one we use now doesn't have the dashboard, so you can go back unless you pay the extra. Whereas with Landmark, we got that, free.
Understand.
Not that, you know, not that we use it that much, but I think that sort of valuation tool thing is dying a little bit now.
Yeah, I think the public are almost getting a bit too smart to them, aren't they, in terms of
Yeah.
them being tracking devices to a large degree.
Yeah, exactly.
And compliance obviously is a complicated area. So do you tend to bounce ideas off their team? What do you do? Do you use them as a resource?
Only when it's a fail. Generally, no. I mean, we don't have a huge amount of contact with them. You know, on the compliance side of things, I know things are changing, and I think that's probably what we'll have to look into in 2021 of what new regulations, etc., come about. But we always get, you know, there's always information coming out from them when needed. But I'm quite confident that if we did need to, you know, speak to someone at Landmark about our AML checks and what compliance is, that they'd be there to, you know, there'd be someone professional there that, you know, had all the answers.
Fantastic. So to summarise here, really, in terms of the takeaways, this is about how, you know, remote digital onboarding can help bring efficiencies to the business, you know, bring consistency, which obviously is essential to that whole AML process. You know, the floor plan service, as it's always been known, the granddaddy of obviously floor plan systems from Metropix, quick and easy, obviously on there. You don't need to spend hundreds of pounds outsourcing that service. You can do it very effectively in-house yourself with them as partners.
Yep.
And again, looking to the future, you know, bringing everything into one space, that one-stop shop, and helping the onboarding can be achieved with Landmark at the end of the day.
Yes, exactly that. When I that's how simple it is. I mean, before I even spoke to Steve, we didn't have any, we weren't doing any floor plans at all. You know, 5-6 years ago, and now it's generally up to me to do them. But it is a simple process. You know, I can get one, you know, done, and they've recently changed the software for this to make it even easier.
Yeah.
So, you know, you'll probably knock one out in 10 minutes now, sort of thing. So it's a pretty good service, and, you know, just in general, we're really happy with what the products we use through Landmark, and I'm sure there'll be some further investment going forward.
And that's great, Darryl. Thank you for that. I'm guessing this is what you want to hear from your clients, isn't it?
Well, you know, it's quite nice. No, absolutely. Look, I mean, just to pick up on a few points there as well. You know, we talk internally. We talk a lot about being responsive to our customers and the responsiveness of us, because, you know, our customers' time is valuable. Everyone's time is valuable, but you guys don't want to be picking up the phone, or us picking up the phone to you and just having a kind of benign conversation. If you've got an issue with money laundering, pick up the phone, we'll deal with it straight away. You've got an issue with Metropix, pick up the phone, we'll deal with it straight away from a floor plan point of view. And we just try to make sure that every contact we have with our client is valuable to you. So, you know, we're not just badgering you, we're not asking you to change your service for any particular need. But if new regulations come in from money laundering, I think, as you said, Darryl, you know, they changed sort of early this year with the 5th MLD that came in. And we would have sent out communications to our clients about that in advance, so they were fully up to date with that. But we got a couple of new products coming as well, and we'll make sure that anybody who's a client of ours will be able to look at it, give it a go, and make sure it works for them. We're not about pushing products on people where it's not suitable for their business, because we build relationships and we want our products to work properly in your business and be suitable for what you do on a day-to-day. So it's about offering you the opportunity to look at what we do, giving you the products we have, adding in as much additional value as we can, and making sure it's working for your business, and you're getting the most out of it. You've lots of prop tech out there, lots of clients, you've mentioned it, 20 odd different suppliers. You know, all we want is the information and the products that you use of ours to work for you in the sort of here and now, and complete that headache and solve that headache entirely.
Well, look, thank you very much for that. As I said, let's everybody go to the Landmark and Compliance in a Box pages, Metropix on there as well. Have a look, do your research there, and then reach out to those guys. Often we've got deals on the table for them. You've heard from Darryl here today, obviously big fan here in terms of what they can do. Nobody really needs to know. I mean, Landmark's such a big player within this industry, all the different services they deliver, and their exposure to some of the very best agents, I think is fantastic. So I'd encourage everyone to give them a ring and see if they can be part of your mix for 2021. But for today, gents, thank you very much for taking the time out, and love to catch up with you soon.
Thanks, Simon.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Thank
Take
you.
care. Have a good weekend.
Everyone's kerfuffling.